Hi guys! Today we're going to talk about preparing a chart of accounts. I know we had an earlier video of reviewing our general journal and preparing the chart of accounts, but I wanted to look at today's lesson. Now, what you see on your screen here is a sample of a chart of accounts for a company called King's Interiors. And I wanted to review with you that the way you prepare a chart of accounts is it goes in a specific way. You list the balance sheet accounts first. Assets comes first. And remember what we said earlier is that a chart of accounts, they are usually arranged in 3-digit numbers, and each number means a specific thing. Assets come first, and they are 100 numbers. And then you list your accounts in order of liquidity, or how quickly that they are going to come into cash. So that's why you always see cash first. And then you have accounts receivable, because you will normally collect a receivable within the next accounting cycle. So it's going to be converted into cash. And then the rest of your assets is the lifespan of them, or how quickly you're going to be using them. For example, here supplies comes next, because you're going to be using supplies before, for example, you would be using office equipment. And notice that each of the accounts has space between them. They are numbered by the tens, and the reason that they are doing that is because you're leaving space in case in the future you have more accounts that need to be added. So you always want to leave space in there so you can add an extra account. So assets, like we said, come first, and they start with 100s. Then liabilities come next, and again you have the gap in them in the numbering to have room to add more. Owner's equity or capital accounts are numbered in the 300s. Capital comes first, and then drawing is after that. Your revenue accounts come next. They are 400s. And you notice in this list there is only one, and it's numbered 410. And then your expense accounts are 500 accounts, and they are listed in alphabetical order, and like usual here you see the gap between each of the accounts, so you have room to add more later. Now let's use this as our example for the day and keep this numbering system in mind, and let's take a look at our assignment for today. And here is our module for today. And I just wanted to remind you too that when you're preparing your assignments, don't just go to your to-do list, come to the module, because you will find more information in the module. For example, here's our learning targets for the day, what you'll learn today, and then here's the lesson where we reviewed the general journal and how to prepare a chart of accounts. So that is very important to know that that is here for your use. So today, here's our assignment in creating a chart of accounts. And the assignment here, reviewing the lesson, here is a link to the lesson, and there will be another link to the lesson that we're doing right now that's going to be in here for the reviewing of the lesson. So the assignment is Jeff Dixon is the sole owner of a service business called House Clean. House Clean uses the following accounts to record financial transactions for the business. So here's a list, an alphabetical list of all of the accounts that House Clean uses in their business. Now what you're going to be doing is you're going to take this alphabetical list and you're going to use the chart of accounts from King's Interiors as an example, and you're going to be preparing your own chart of accounts for House Clean. Now remember, you've got to arrange them in assets, liabilities, capital, revenue, and expense accounts, and you have to give them a number. So your directions are to prepare a chart of accounts for House Clean by separating the list into the proper account types and then numbering each section and account correctly. You will use the form provided and upload it when you have completed the assignment. So here's the form you're going to use. And you're going to make a copy. And then here is the form for House Clean Chart of Accounts. Now starting out, remember you need to classify your accounts. So let's say account number 100 is going to be assets. Because remember, assets are always the 100 accounts. And then you're going to be going back to your list of accounts here, and you're going to pick out the asset accounts, and you're going to be putting them into the House Clean Chart of Accounts. Now, of course, you know the first one is always going to be cash, so you can, if you wanted to say 110, or you could even do it by fives if you wanted to, and then that one's going to be cash. Then you can go back to your list, and you know the next one is going to be accounts receivable. Now you have two accounts receivable, so I would put them in alphabetical order. I would do Joan Jones first, and then I would do Sam Walters next. So I would probably number these maybe 115 and 120, or 120 and 130. And then you're going to go through and pick out any more assets in the list. And then after that, you're going to come back and you're going to list liabilities. And for example, I'm going to come on down the list here. I'm going to leave a few extra lines, and I'm going to say 200 excuse me, is going to be liabilities, and so forth and so on. And then 300 is going to be your owner's equity accounts, 400 will be your revenue, and 500 will be your expenses. And you will just come back to here, and you will take this list of accounts, and you're going to classify them into each of those 5 categories, and you're going to give them a number. And then after you do that, you're going to be uploading your file into, when you submit your assignment, you're going to upload the copy of House Clean into to submit your assignment. And remember, you can always go back to your PowerPoint, to this screen, and look at this for an example. You can always use this as an example.